Hi everybody, here's Christian from Trace5 and it's another unboxing of a KeyForge deck. This is the last one. I have to, because some people commented, we're not planning to do this every time. Like, we're not planning to do just unboxing videos from end to end. This is the final deck that we got our hands on. And obviously when the game is released, you know, those decks won't be as special and unique anymore. But now, as long as, you know, nobody or very few people can get their hands on those decks, we want to share what we found so you guys can anticipate better what the game is about, can have a better understanding what the game is about. And also I have to say, I've been missing this. I've been missing opening random packs. I've played Magic in the back in the days, not too much. Usually I played actually limited. So, you know, boosted draft tournaments and stuff like that. And once I moved to a Netrunner, that was obviously a tremendous game, and we already discussed this in the comment section. I'm not expecting KeyForge to fill that Netrunner shaped hole in my soul. This is more of a kind of like maybe like a game that you can play on the side, so to speak, next to the other games that you're into. But I really enjoy this idea of opening packs. I've been missing this from Netrunner because you always knew what you're gonna open, and there was a bit of a less of a mystery happening. And this thing where it's like you're opening a pack and, you know, anything could be in there, even if you know the cards. Which cards you're gonna get is the thing that that creates a lot of tension, a lot of excitement. Okay, so this is gonna be the count. Oh, by the way, just to remind you guys, we already talked about this, but one last time, these decks were provided to us by Asmodee because they asked us to do a live stream of their preview events, and so the live stream is happening on 20th of October, 20th of October. And so we got these decks to kind of familiarize ourselves with the game. So when we start commentating the different games, we maybe can recognize some of the cards, and we're not just blabbering like the idiots that we are usually. Okay, so another Shadows deck. I'm really excited about this. Shadows has been announced as this as probably like the one of the stronger factions, especially has some very, very strong cards that people are very excited for. Logos seems interesting, has also some strong cards. And again, the Brepnars. Why are you punishing me with the Brepnars random number generator? I would love to see maybe some more untamed action, or my beloved Martians. But yeah, this is the Countess of Windhedge. The Countess of Windhedge. What is Windhedge? Well, let's find out. So we're going to start with our Brabs. Loot the bodies. It's an action for the remainder of the turn. Gain 1 ember for each time an enemy creature is destroyed. So we had this in previous decks before, and the problem I have with this one is like the opponent has to have a huge board state. You have to have a huge board state. And then you have to play this, and then you attack and destroy all the board state. It seems like there's a lot of contingencies happening here to really gain a lot of ember. How much ember are we expecting from this? Is what I'm asking, or maybe a different way. How much ember is par for the course for this guy? And I would say like you usually should get 2 ember from this. If you get 3 ember, I think you're in value town. And maybe that's also something I noticed generally, is maybe like a good like a power curve kind of measure. Like when you get 2 ember from a card, then that's maybe a good card. Or I guess that's kind of like an average card. If you have to get less than 1 ember, or less than 2 ember from a card, then you're wasting maybe your cards. So Tremor, we already had this before, an action, stun a creature and each of its neighbors. I like Tremor, so I don't mind having it in my deck. Aha, this is new. War Song, action. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 ember each time a friendly creature fights. Oh, see, now things are getting interesting. So War Song and Loot the Bodies. That seems like a good combination. That seems like a power turn. That seems like a Brepnar party, right? Ooh, Gauntlet of Command. We had this in the previous deck as well. That's good. So it's an artifact. It has an action, ready and fight with a friendly creature. So you can, like, you know, take control of your creatures and fight with them again. You can reap and fight with them, or you can fight twice. You can do a lot of stuff. And ooh, with a war song, it's even better because, you know, you get more value, more amber out of your creatures because they fight multiple times. That's good. So this is an artifact, the War Chest. Action, gain 1 ember for each enemy creature that was destroyed in a fight this turn. Okay. The Brabner party is in full swing and we have to bring the War Chest as well. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter what the treasure is, only how it was won. Okay, got it. It's also a nice chest with a face on it and a cool chain. Valder, alas, yeah, they're kind of like a very vanilla kind of a creature. 6 strength, Valder deals 2 damage while attacking on an enemy creature on the flank. Yeah, I've been a bit down on Valder on previous reviews, but also something that occurred to me. I kind of like cards that interact with the flank thing, where they interact with the positioning. I think this is good. I think this is kind of like a unique thing that, or one of the unique things that KeyForge is doing, and so whenever you have a creature that does something with that, I'm fine with that. I don't mind. Bumpsy, 5 strength creature, play, your opponent loses 1 ember. That's okay. I like it. It's a creature. It's fine. Fire Spitter, and again, before fight, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature, and it's a 5 strength. He has one armor. That's kind of weird, because the Brobnars don't really have that much armor. Ooh, so this is the guy from the cover. It's Headhunter. 5 strength creature, fight, gain 1 ember. Ooh. Can we have 2 of those, please? No, we can't. I like this guy because this kind of fits to the Brobnar battle party that idea that we had before. Crump is also invited to the party. He is a 6 strength creature. We had him also before. After an enemy creature is destroyed, fighting Crump, its controller loses 1 ember. So you get an ember and the opponent loses ember. I'm fine with that. Okay, so this is a rare. Looter Goblin. 2 strength, not a very strong Brabnar creature. He's elusive. The first time this creature is attacked each turn, no damage is dealt, so you have to attack him twice to kill him. He has Reap for the remainder of the turn, gain 1 ember each time an enemy creature is destroyed. Oh gosh. Okay, this is a Brabnar party deck for sure. Blood of the Titans, this creature gains 5 power. Yeah, we had this in a deck before. But I like it. I like the upgrades. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit of a nerd here, but I like making small creatures big, and I hopefully there's some good targets in here. Okay, so now we're moving on to the logos. So far, I think that was a good Brobnar pick. Maybe not too many creatures, but a lot of things that make me benefit from fighting, makes us benefit from fighting. So what I'm hoping for in the other factions is to also maybe play into that, kind of help with that somehow. So this is Effervescent Principle. It's an action. Each player loses half of the ember, rounding down to the loss, gain 1 chain. So I guess you would play it after you forged a key and you're down on your ember. So, and your opponent actually hasn't, has some ember in there. So, it's an interesting one. Okay, this is Labwork. Very common creature, I want to say, very common action for logos. Actually, I wished we had some of these in the previous deck that we opened. So it is an action, archive a card. So you have like this, maybe again for people for whom this is the first video about KeyForge they watch, there's like a space that you can put cards into from your hand, and then later on at the beginning of your turn you can get all of the cards on your hand to create like these power turns. And Labwork allows you to set up this, put those cards into the space, into the archives, to maybe use them later. Ooh, okay. A library access is a card that people are... there's 2 cards that people are very excited about. One is library access, the other one is... again, what's the name of the card? Bait and switch, right? And so... So this is one of the cards that, especially if you play 2 of those, or if you can manage to replay it somehow, then you can create potentially like these incredibly swingy turns where you keep playing cards. Well, maybe to explain what it does, action for the remainder of the turn, each time you play another card, draw a card. So you keep playing Logos cards, and then you keep drawing cards, and hopefully you draw into Logos cards, so you can keep playing cards. So you can have maybe like cycle through in the entire deck very quickly. Sadly, we only have 1, yeah, we have to make it count, I guess. So this is Twin Bolt Emission. This is 1 Ember, another action, and it says deal 2 damage to a creature and deal 2 damage to a different creature. Something to note here is what happens when you only have 2 creatures on the board. So if you have 1 creature and the opponent has 1 creature, then you have to deal the 2nd damage to your own creature. But if there's just 1 creature, if the opponent has just 1 creature, so let's say it's the 2nd turn, the opponent played a creature, and you have this on your hand, then you can still deal just the 2 damage just 1 time. The cards in KeyForge are always like you can, when you play them, you have to fulfill the text on the card as far as you can. So if there's just 1 creature, you still do 2 damage to a single creature and don't do the second 2 damage, obviously. The Wild Wormhole! Shout out to the Wild Wormhole podcast. Easy for me to say. Yes, so this is this is actually good because we already had the library access before, right? So if you play library access, every time we play a card, doesn't say a Logos card, it's just a card. We will draw a card. So with the Wild Wormhole, it's an operation, or I guess an action. It says play the top card of your deck. And when you play the Wild Wormhole, you draw a card, and then you play a card using the Wild Wormhole. That gives you yet another card. So there's like this 2-step thing happening here, which I like. Oh, we have 2 Wild Wormholes. Oh, we don't have 3 Wild Wormholes, but 2 is good. Dexter, capture 1 Ember. When you play him, it's a 3-strength creature. When he's destroyed, put Dexter on top of your deck. Again, maybe good with the library access, because you can run a library access, start attacking with a Dexter, so he's put on top of your deck. Then you play another card, you get Dexter in your hand, you play Dexter, you draw another card. Like there's potential of interacting in a good way with library access, and the fact that he captures when you play him is also kind of nice. Ooh, we have even 2 Dexters. I don't mind that. Okay, so this is Doc Baktun. This is kind of interesting because it's a human. Is she Doc Baktun? She doesn't look like a 5-strength creature, but maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a huge battle armor that she has in store somewhere. It's Reap, draw a card. Don't worry, Momo, we have this Quantum Death Ray installed in no time. Okay, she has a Quantum Death Ray. I like her very much because I really love whenever there's an ability on a Reap thing. I don't like the fighting. I don't mind about fighting, although this is a really good deck to do fighting with. But the fact that you can draw a card with reaping, that's great. Because imagine you have the hair out and library access. And of course, library access has this problem. When you do library access, eventually you won't have any Logos cards on your hand and the library access fizzles out. With Doc Baktun, you can still draw another card, hoping to draw into yet another Logos card. Ganymede Archivist, when you reap, you archive a card. So again, a reap ability thing here and another archiving ability, so that's good. Maybe allowing us to do some power turns. 3-strength creature, a human scientist. Okay, so this is a rare Neutron Shark. Play, fight, or reap, I guess. Destroy an enemy creature or artifact and a friendly creature or artifact. Discard the top card of your deck. If that card is not a Logos card, trigger this effect again. This is a crazy card. Okay, creature or artifact. So you kind of like keep destroying stuff until you uncover a Logos card, right? Yeah. And something to keep in mind is that if the opponent, if you run out of, if one of the guys runs out of creatures and the Neutron Shark keeps triggering. What if the Neutron Shark triggers himself? What if you destroy Neutron Shark? It doesn't say another, right? So I guess the Neutron Shark could kill himself to stop the cycle, right? It's a crazy creature. I'm eager to see how this will play out. Rocket boots. I like the rocket boots. I get another upgrade. I'm a sucker for upgrades. This creature gains Fight Reap if this creature is the first. If this is the first time this creature was used this turn, ready it. So you can use a creature twice on a turn, which is great. Something to keep in mind. I'm not sure how this works, but what happens if the creature was already used before, right? So what if you readied it, for example, with some other card, and then it was readied, and then you play it again? It's a bit complicated. But yeah, allowing you to use a creature twice is fine. I like it. Cool. So this is now the Shadow faction. This is Relentless Whispers. You get an Ember for this. It's an action. I haven't seen this before. Play, deal 2 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, steal 1 Ember. Seems like a good direct damage. Really nice artwork. Too much to protect. You get an Ember. Another action. Play, steal all but 6 of your opponent's Ember. I heard about this before. I'm not sure about this. I mean, stealing all by 6, but 6 is a lot. That's a lot of steal. And of course, you play it at the first thing that you do this turn. So later on, you can also steal more. And that way you prevent maybe opponent from, forging a key. But you have to wait for the opponent to get a lot of Ember to get a lot of value from that one. Seeker Needle. I don't mind the Seeker Needle here. Deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, gain 1 Ember. I'm just thinking back on the Brebnar stuff where we gain Ember when we kill people. So this would be, this seems like a nice thing. Carlo Phantom, Elusive Skirmish. Each time you play an artifact, steal 1 Ember. Have to look through the cards. How many artifacts do we have? Here's another creature, Defio Spymaster, so another rare. He's elusive, so you have to attack him twice. It's 1 strength. Omni. Choose a friendly creature. You may use that creature this turn. Ooh. Oh, wait, so he's an Omni guy? But I guess Omni means that I can use just this ability in other factions, right? I cannot, that doesn't mean that the entire creature can be used in different factions. So just like I can use his ability in other factions. So I could Omni this guy and then use some other creature, maybe some House Brebnar while I'm playing Logos. Seems fine to me. It's good. Just 1 strength, a bit, but he's elusive. It's gonna be fine. I like Magda the Rat. I saw her before. It's good. 4 strength is actually pretty beefy for a shadow creature, and she has a cat. What's not to love? The first time this creature is attacked each turn, okay, so she's elusive. When you play her, you steal 2 Ember, and when she leaves play, your opponent steals 2 Ember. So you kind of it's almost as if she captured 2 Ember. I don't know why. It's a bit weird that it doesn't say capture 2 Ember, but I guess it's different because you steal 2 Ember. That means it's in your possession, so you can use it to forge a key and then lose the Ember. So then when she leaves play, you maybe no longer have any Ember. So you kind of the opponent doesn't get back the 2 Ember. So this is Dodger, and he is a creature, a big creature for shadows, 5 strength, and when you fight, you steal 1 Ember. That's good. That's good. And this is Shadow Self, again a protective creature. Yeah, we have some creatures that we can protect with it, that's fine. Shadow Self deals null damage when fighting, and then damage is dealt to non-spectre neighbors. Damage dealt to non-spectre neighbors is dealt to Shadow Self instead. So kind of you put it next to your fragile creatures, and the opponent has to kill this first before they can kill the fragile creatures. And we have 2 Shadow Selves, I'm glad. Then we have Silvertooth, he enters play ready. Again, very flexible creature, very fast. Can pop up from out of nowhere and do the damage or reap. We have an Urchin. When you play him, you steal 1 Ember and he's elusive. And just 1 strength, but you know, it's a kind of small little creature that steals, that basically does the damage when it was played, right? Because it steals 1 Ember. And we have a second Urchin. So I think that's going to be it, right? Do we have more? Oh, no, the next one is Decklist. Okay, so let's see what we have here. This is our decklist. So it seems like we have 3 rares again. The rares is Looter Goblin, Neutron Shark, and the Spy Master. These are our rares. Okay, that's fine. So let's see. I saw that there was a card that benefits from artifacts, and so let's see how many of these creatures and different types of stuff we have in this deck to see how the stats play out. Okay, I'm going to do something different now. Instead of looking at the things that I have multiple copies of, something I want to be doing maybe is just to let's just do some math. So we have 20 creatures. We have 3 artifacts. We have 2 upgrades, and we have 11 actions. And also we have 7 Ember from like just playing cards. The 3 artifacts is important for Carlo Phantom here. I was wondering, you know, how often you can steal an artifact from him using him, and it apparently is 3 times. It's fine. It's fine. He's fine. He's not. I don't really have a lot of recursion from what I see, so this is not really something that is like a huge backbone of the deck. What is a huge backbone of the deck is definitely, you want to, I guess with this guy, you definitely want to set up some crazy attack, you know, destroy, fight turn. So loot the bodies for the remainder of the turn, each gain 1 Ember each time enemy creature is destroyed. War Song, for the remainder of the turn, gain 1 Ember each time a friendly creature fights. This is good, obviously, because then your creature can fight better. You have a Needle Seeker, which when you kill off a creature, you get an Ember from this one, and then if the creature is destroyed, you get Ember from loot the bodies. Now, War Chest. That's good that it is an action, so you play it and you can play it over and over again. Gain 1 Ember for each enemy creature that was destroyed in a fight this turn. It has to be in a fight, though. You have to keep in mind. So these are kind of like things that give you Ember. And of course there's also, wait, I have to maybe put it in the camera. And also we have this guy, Looter Goblin, a Reap for the remainder of the turn, gain 1 Ember each time enemy creature is destroyed. So you get a lot of Ember from destroying creatures or fighting, which also often leads to destroying creatures. And then you have the creatures that also help with that. So we have Headhunter, which gains 1 Ember. We have Crump, which makes the opponent lose 1 Ember. We have Dodger that steals 1 Ember. So what else? Well, we have the Gauntlet of Command, which allows me to attack with a creature twice, and that eventually, you know, makes what does it trigger twice? So the War Song would then trigger twice for that creature. We get double the amount of Ember. So it seems like you can set up this kind of crazy Brabnar house party, battle party, with this deck, which seems I'm eager to see how this plays out. There's a lot of cards, obviously, and you can't expect to draw all of these cards, but the fact there's so many means that you will probably always be able to pull it off somehow, right? Now, there is also some effects, or smaller effects here, like these ones. I have these here prepared. There's some cards that controls the amount of Ember the opponent has. So, you know, losing half of the Ember with this guy, and also losing everything above 6. And not too much of it, but I think just enough maybe to stall the opponent out while you're setting up your crazy Brabnar house party. And then, of course, what's important is library access here. That's kind of like a very important Logos card that everybody is like really crazy about. And the fact we have 2 Wild Wormholes kind of helps with that. We also have a Labborg. Labborg is a very... I would love to see 2 Labborgs here. We had like this other deck that had 3 Labborgs. I think I would love to see 3 Labborgs in this kind of deck so we can set up this crazy Brabnar party or set up a crazy library access turn. All right. I just forgot, the rocket boots also help with the Brabnar plan because you can attack, again, you can attack with a creature twice. So maybe you fight a lot. There are some creatures that don't really fit into the Brabnar plan. Ganymede, Archivist, and Doc Baktun. Both are good, especially Doc Baktun has a lot of power. But with those guys, I guess you really want to just reap most of the time, allowing you to draw a card or archive a card. So yeah, these kind of don't really fit in the plan. But we have only just 2 of them, so that's fine. And technically, yeah, Urchin also doesn't really fit into this plan. But I don't mind too much, because Urchin kind of like, you play him and you expect him to die very soon. All right, I almost forgot. We also have Depino Spymaster, which allows us to, so assuming that we activate Brabnar to do the Brabnar party, with a Spymaster we can get some other creatures into the fray, which I think especially good on the Dodger, so the Dodger joins the Brabnar party. I like this deck. It's unusual. It's I haven't so far Brabnar who weren't my thing, because quite often it's like big creatures but not really big payoff. And this is the first time I'm seeing a lot of support cards that make those guys really benefit from attacking and killing creatures. There's just one problem. What happens if the opponent doesn't have any creatures in play? I guess then you can still reap with your Brabnars, I guess, right? I don't know, sure. But this seems like a fun deck, and so we're gonna try it out. So before we leave, this was the last opening, guys. This was last opening before we do the live stream. But before we do the live stream, I have a question for you guys. What do you think? Which deck is better? Which deck has better chances? This guy that we just opened, the Countess of Windhedge. That sounds way more cultivated than the deck actually is inside. Or the one that we just opened previously, the Peg-Headed Prisoner of Luckmark. Let us know which of these 2 decks you think is stronger, and we're gonna play a few games, and we're gonna let you know, maybe we even record those games, and we're gonna let you know which deck was stronger. So are you a team Countess, or are you team Poisoner of Luckmark, the team Peg-Headed, I guess. Yeah, so let us know in the comment section what you think, and let us know, of course, always if there's any combos, any peculiarities that you missed. I'm still kind of baffled about the shark in the Countess deck. What does the shark do? How would you use the Neutron Shark, right? That's a bit of a puzzle, maybe kind of like a board removal kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, guys, see you next time around. See you especially at the live stream on the 28th of October, when we're gonna show you how this game is being played in the real world. Hope to see you in the chat section, and otherwise, bye bye!